Right, here we have a deconstructed Amiga 500 keyboard, cable that goes into the SCART lead. Everything else I do, mod and whatever else is for the composite cables, but it's the only one for the SCART lead. Power supply is over here. Disk drive's up here on its side. I don't want it touching anything on the board in case it shorts out. And mouse. In the drive I have got Workbench 1.2. I think it's 1.2. So let's start by turning this on. And we'll show you the screen now. White, very white. The disk drive's spinning. You see there? Oh, actually can't. It's over here. Right, screen is on. It is show release 1.3. Let's just hope it works. UK disk. Mouse is working. Battery backup not found. I'll put an RTC in this real-time clock and a battery in there as well. So hopefully we should all get sorted. So it's going through CLI 2. I don't know what CLI 2 is supposed to be. See, I can also test whether or not the switcher works by switching it off and booting up. And if it doesn't boot up with the drive, then I know the switcher works. So, the even CIA is working. Come on, come on. It's not frozen or anything. There we go. Now, if you notice there at the top, I have done it right. On free memory, I have 2.5 meg. I know it means nothing nowadays. That's probably about the size of a low resolution picture. But 2.5 meg means it's working. Right, Workbench. Double click on there. It's over that side. Sorry again, I've still not got any video capture, but it's just one of the things. System, fast mem. I don't know what this lot does. CLI, okay, there it is. Merge set map. Is that in system? We'll go for prefs. Printer preferences, serial. Let's have a look. Like I keep saying, this is one big learning curve for me. Okay, that's all that sort of preferences. Okay, so cancel. There's a huge helicopter goes over the house. So it looks like I've managed to get this thing working perfectly. Does that do anything? So all I need to do now is actually test the game. See if it works. Right, what I'm going to do is as follows. I am going to switch this off, so power's off on there. I'm going to switch this across and see if it doesn't recognise that. Hopefully it won't see it. So screen's black, screen's grey, screen's white, screen's really white. Okay, so there we go. Screen's still white. The disk drive is not spinning. So it looks like, and the Workbench version 1.3 is on. So it looks like it's more complicated, the memory upgrade, than, well, it's less complicated than it looks. And so is the fitting of that. See if I can switch that across now. Oh, spinning. So I can turn that drive on and off, which will give me the option of doing that for the floppy then. It's booting up now very nicely indeed. So, what do we need to do now? Well, still quite a lot to do, to be honest. For one, I need to try and get a decent mount for a camera, and 2, let's try a game. So, can you guess what game I'm going to try first? So did you guess what game I was going to put in? If this is as simple as what it looks, the disc is in, the disc is spinning, and not as quick as I thought. There is no sound. Why, oh why is there no sound? Because it's too quiet. Of course they have to be Frontier. It's the only game I've actually got. Well, not true, I've got a few more in there. Let's start from Live System. And it comes on 2 discs, this one, anyway. So, yeah, so, let's have a think. That is 4 I want. Oh no, F4. Oh no, maybe it's just mouse then. Mouse 4. Service you require. Launch request. Claims granted. How do I miss this? I'd love to play it properly, but oh, bomb. Let's see what the keys are. That's. Oh, the police are after me. Well, A and Z were up and down, so I am moving at least. I just spend hours on this. 9. F9. And the landing gear don't go up. It's keyboard related, is it? Speed. Oh, I think it was numbers, wasn't it? Or was it the F keys? You know, it's actually not as easy as you think, this. Oh, hello, there's an exterior visual. Or is that rear? Some of the wheels up. Let's go there. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the time dilation thing. So I can get somewhere. Where's this scanner? Is this keyboard actually even plugged in? I've turned the yeah, I've put it, set it to mute. I don't know what I've pressed. So yeah, that's working fine. All I need to do now then is, let's have a think. Oh, that's tight on there. The camera mount is wait for the rain to stop. If I've got the it's not looking bad, but it's in a plastic bag and it just needs a few more days of decent sun. What I want to keep that retro bright. I'm trying to keep it as close to non-chemical as I possibly can. So it's in a bag, I can leave it, I can go to work, leave it in the back garden. If it's sunny, brilliant. If it's not, then it's in a plastic bag and it'll stay as it is. But it will help. So all I need to do now is get an external drive and get the case retro brighted. Well, sun bleached at least anyway. And this will be done. So this is it for the time being for me, but here's a quick jump to the next part and then we'll start all over again. Brilliant. Now, as I'm convinced that summer is never going to arrive, retrobrighting the exterior will basically be when it's sunny. I'm going to get the box out, the case out and chuck it out. So what I'm going to do from now on is reassemble it. I mean, I have a good idea of putting them in bags, but it's just never going to happen. We're in the UK, they just don't happen. It's just... I love retrobrighting. I love the idea of bringing stuff back to its former glory, and this case isn't that bad anyway. So we start off, leave the top for later. Maybe a little bit of clean on this, like inside here needs a little bit of wipeage, shall we say. There's nothing major. It was cleaned to start with. It's your own preference, to be honest, because everything gets dirty afterwards. So no matter how much cleaning you do, you'll stick it on a shelf and it'll be, hooray, look at it, it's amazing. 6 months later, it's back to as it was. I mean, the outside bit of this, yeah, there's a scratch there. Some things can be sorted, but not to my level. So let's just reassemble, shall we? Get this back to as it should be. Now, if I was a rear case... Right, my problem is as follows. I need to put this switch somewhere. But 4 pins... I was actually thinking about this last night. If I could put the tiniest switch somewhere, then that might not be too bad, but it's a 4-way switch. I don't know why there are 4 pins on it. Maybe it's for 2 cables. Turns that on to doing that drive. 2 cables do that, so it's not like one's a power, one's a not. So I've got no choice then with this. So this can be mounted somewhere, and the only best place to do it would probably be over there. I don't want to drill a hole in the case, but I've got no option. Need a screw hole. I mean, that won't... No, that won't do anything. Perhaps... Perhaps using the cartridge slot to swap over. A bit of thought with this. Right, to start with, I've if anybody's noticed, I've messed up already. These need all the pins back in to secure the board back to the plate. There's not much else I'm going to do with this board, I don't think. I mean, like I said, I've got my switcher there. That will rely on putting a drive on there externally. I've got my memory in. That works fine. I'm going to get in a real-time clock chip, and I've got a battery already. I'm convinced it won't work by just putting a battery in. I'm not that stupid. Or am I? You know, but that's for... I can easily take the trapdoor out and have a go at that. So let me get on with putting all the bolts back in to secure the RF shield into the motherboard, and we'll get back to final reassembly, because this does work, and I will test it anyway and make sure it's perfectly fine when it's all done and plugged in. Right, just had a slight problem putting in all these bolts on the back. I used to snap one of these, put it into, I think it was that one there. For some reason it just comes straight off, the threads come straight off to the bolt. So just to show you that stuff that's just laid around doing nothing can still go weak. Luckily it's a very easily findable part, so that's not a problem. So in they go, tight, just hand tight, so it holds it in place a little bit. Right, so that can go back away then. Well, you can. Yeah, so I had to drill out the rest of the threads, and then we're all fine. So that's the heat sink back on there. Now I need to sort that out. Well, I've got the case. I'm going to put the case in. I need to sort that out afterwards. But it needs to be able to be easily removable. Sort of. Why is that not going in? Ah, okay, I have a problem. Because this doesn't go down enough, because that wants to be slotted underneath where that lip is there. Okay, not impossible, just need to pull it out, seat the motherboard the right place, and then slide it in from the underneath section. Right, fine. So just to get the, because there's a clip there as well. See, I've seen a lot of similarities between this and the ST, and there's a lot of difference. See, they're both big American companies. It's surprising that they did so many things different. Oh, that's difficult to do then. So let's get that in first, and hopefully that'll click into. That's pulling the board. It's not really springing out. I can see this being one of these pieces here that people remove, because it's beginning to be a little bit of a problem. So that won't go in. I don't want to force too much. I'm not breaking this board. There we go. Better? Sort of. Happier, I think. And that can slide underneath there. So that eventually when I get the real-time chip, that can go on there. Right, screwing this back in. I think they go from, if I remember, down upwards. But I need to do 1, 2, 3 potentially. Is that where I got these 3 from? They look like the metal on metal. More than plastic on plastic. I've still... See, this is why you should record everything. I've got one washer there and I can't figure out exactly where that thing goes. But I have got a thinnest threaded screw there, which potentially may go on there. The rest of them look like they are plastic / wood screws with the wider thread. I also need to figure out where that goes. I'll get it. I'm sure I'll get it. But it's all going together fine. It's all coming together quite nicely. The 3 screws, thinner threaded screws, go in 3 corners. The one with the star washer and the 4 threaded goes into the side of the drive here, because there's no way of putting that anywhere else. I can see the little star notches on there anyway, if you can see that. I don't know. It's pressed into the plastics. So, yeah. It all kind of makes a lot of sense. That's the wrong screwdriver size for that. I'm not going to round the threads off with it. I'll tighten up in a second with a better screwdriver. Or can I use that? So it's not going to be too over the top tight, just in place. Right, so that's in. 2 screws there. 2 screws on this little small heat shield part here to give you an earth negative or whatever when you plug in a cartridge in. I have 6 more screws to go, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the case when the lid goes on. Now, decision time. See, that will go quite easily in there. But I'm not entirely keen on putting a hole in this. If I could, maybe I should. This just needs to go one way or the other. So if it was like that, now that'll block the cartridge slot off if I ever did anything with that. Oh, decisions, Ralph. There's no 2 ways around it. I have to put a hole in it. Is there any other way around this? It's got to be on the bottom, the base. Oh, Ralph, you're a genius. So if that can go, ha 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 ha. If I can glue that in place there, yeah, that'll wedge in there a little, but if I can glue it in place there, sort of, then I haven't got to destroy anything. It can be removed at a later date, if ever, because that'll come off. The even CIA chip can go back on. Let me see if that will go in place. That looks like it will fit. Miles off of there. Just to access it from the bottom now. Will the keyboard go in place without any problems from it? Yep, it will. So that saves destroying anything. So my favourite tool on the entire planet. Oh, I want to put the cables underneath that come out there, so drive back out again. Or can I thread it through? That'd be interesting if I can. Very close underneath there. No, I can't. But I'm going to glue it there. I can actually put this thing back in place. As such. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a problem to get in and out if I need to switch, but I won't be switching very often. Once I get the external drive, it'll be there. Maybe if I went it that way around. Left and right will probably be better, so if I can kind of mount it there, it just saves putting any holes in this, and I don't want to put any holes in. Left right is a lot easier than up and down. But up and down would be quite nice. Just trying to get back down again because you can't get your finger in to do that. Right, leave it with me. With a quick jump, and we should be almost finished. Right, now I'm happy. It's there. It's in the corner, it's out of the way. There's a lot of hot glue on there, a lot on the back, a lot on the front, a lot on everything, but I have not drilled a hole. This is still an original Amiga, and I'm very proud that it is. Yes, the up and down switch is going to be a little bit of a problem, but it's something I will deal with if ever I need to do. It'll probably be in one position which will be when the GoTech is attached to an external drive, if and whenever I get one. And if I want to play any original games, then it will be a case of yes. But I'm happy I have not destroyed the case. And I think you lot might be happy as well. A little gap there, it might cause a problem to put the top heat shield on. Right, have I forgotten anything? I think the heat shield goes on before. See, that's a problem on there. But hopefully it'll go through this gap on here. I've just realised something. I can't put loose screws through there because that's in the way. Okay. Small problem. Easily solved. There's a decent screwdriver. That probably goes on afterwards then, the that RF shield for the cartridge slot. Let's try again. Go around there. There's a possibility this drive might actually have to go on afterwards as well. I don't know. Okay. These two are not right either. I'm jumping ahead quite a bit, aren't I? So the two screws holding this heat shield as well. Any other screws I put in that I need to take out? Okay. Let's see. That goes in there. I don't want to trap too much of the cable on here. Does the drive go in afterwards, is the question. It seems quite tight there. Maybe that part of the drive just goes in first. There's no clip on there. Now it just sits over. That's not lined up at all, so maybe it goes the other way. Inside, yeah, better. That goes in, that's missed, not breaking anything there. That's in, that's up. Why is that up? Let's put that in. Trying to be careful. Oh, here we go again. I've cut myself. Hooray! I might have mentioned in the past, if I do a job like this, then if I cut myself, then it's usually a good thing. I've got a funny feeling. Cable's through there okay, I'm happy enough with that. That's why it's off at that angle. Oh, it's just a ribbon cable for the printer, dumbass. For the disk drive. So I'm alright with that. So, that's in, that's not, but that will get screwed down anyway. Yeah. Let me get my finger sorted out and get this screwed in, and we're nearly almost done. For some reason I keep thinking that's a heat shield, and it's not, it's an RF shield. So, that's done with a little bit of glue string on the side, but I'm really happy with that. It's not perfect, this RF shield. I'm leaving it on just for the sake of it's here. Keyboard on. Keyboard plugged. That's a little bit awkward to get in there, but in and done. Now, want of anything better, I think we're complete. That's not right, you can see the cable through there. I know that is definitely how that's supposed to go, but you can see it through. Oh well. There's no Commodore 64 tabs to break off. So it looks like it's just a case of put in place, turn over, and screw it up without messing it up. Now they're all hex screws, so it looks like they were quite early using these types of screws for Commodore. Normally they'd have been wood screws or something. Need to be careful a little bit. I don't want to screw too much. I'm still bleeding, by the way, I can't stop it. You can see the keyboard there. Six screws in place. I'm trying not to bleed on the Commodore. It's already clean enough as it is. Isn't that right? There's a lip over there. Looks like the whole frame of this could do with going up. Just a little tiny bit. I don't know. Probably not. Probably the way it was designed. There was always things that just never fitted. The Atari ST case, for a point, is shockingly bad. Just does not properly fit where it's supposed to. So these three back in here, and we're almost done. I really shouldn't put these in because I need to test this, but I really want it all back in one piece. I'm a little bleeder, aren't I? Just can't stop bleeding. Getting glue strings wrapped around things. Okay, so we'll leave that as is. Now, you're all wanting to see how stupid the slot looks with the switch behind it. Okay, so actually it's not as bad as I thought. Memory's in place there. I don't like exposed circuit board underneath it, but I've got no choice. But that's perfectly fine. It's way out of the way. If ever I want to change this board, there's plenty of space, but I don't want to go any more than 2 meg. Well, it's fully 2.5 meg. Meg. Ridiculous. I was thinking about this earlier. A meg used to be massive back in whatever day. But 2.5 meg it's not even the size of an MP3 file. It's about the size of a low-res picture, maybe. So it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes you think that we're spoiled nowadays. I've got memory cards that are 128 gigabytes, which costs 20 quid, 30 quid, something like that. So to have 2.5 meg inside here, it's kind of almost a privilege for this. But this never needed any more than that. Most games probably run 0.5 meg, 1 meg, so I've got more than what I need. Just brushing the dust out of here. It's only a normal toothbrush. I'll do it that way, I might get more brush bristles on through. There we go. Right, one thing is missing from here. I've almost stopped bleeding. Do I? Do I or do I not? I think I should actually. It came with it. So, yeah, let's get some double-sided tape. Stick that back on there. I need to flatten that down a little tiny bit more because it's not perfectly flat. And get that stuck onto there. Give us a minute. And the final naming ceremony goes in the wrong place. There she goes. And why not? Why not have that there? Oh, I've just bled on it. Oh, I am. Yes, I have. There you have it. Commodore Amiga 500. Computer of the European Computer of the Year Award. And job sorted. Now, as always, let's get this thing plugged in, tested, and see if it works. So, a little bit more tidy up. And we are... It's not bad actually, the colour of this, I don't think now. I've had a couple of sessions outside. Might go out occasionally. But at the minute, I think that's really good. The keys came up absolutely brilliant. So let's get on with plugging in, getting sorted, and seeing if she properly works. Right, she's on, she's in, the power light is on, the Workbench disc with the hand is showing on the screen, so obviously we have got this the wrong way around. So try not to knacker all the cables. Let's pull that out. Oh, I'll just put the screwdrivers away as well. So, up is internal. The screen's just gone off. I've got a disc in there already. Let's turn off and on again. Hopefully the drive shall work. There she goes. Workbench is on the screen. Workbench is on the screen. Why is the Workbench on the screen? It's not loading. Because I don't have Workbench in. I have extras. Okay, so obviously Workbench goes in first. Try working. Go in. Alright. So as I said, the screen is back on white again, but right, Workbench is starting to load in. Like I say, it's still a learning process for me. The ST was a computer which booted straight into its own TOS. Battery backup clock not found, but obviously I need to do the RTC chip mod and a battery. But that's fine, actually. You know, if I don't sell this, there's your memory, and that's your RTC, isn't it? wonder if I can take that off and put it in. No, I'll buy another one. I'll get one of these. Get this sold and I'll get another one. They're about 10 quid for the A's. There's two different types you can get, an A or a B. See, there we go. Memory up top working fine. RAM disk, what's RAM disk do? Absolutely nothing. Workbench. Workbench 1.3, so you're not exactly in the right place. I'm going to try the extras disc. Reading it. ZZ. Drives off. Ah, extras 1.3 has appeared. Okay. FD1, fonts, devs. This is like the first day of school again. PC utils. README, copy, PC format, okay. FD 1.3. Important. Basic, okay. Error while opening basic FD files here. Okay, I'll probably put them there, obviously. Devs. I am learning all over again. So you have another disc in this set, which is very first English version of what? I don't know. Okay, so we're at basic then. Yep, keyboard works fine, cap locks works fine. Turn, cool. I think a game, and we'll see if this works perfectly or not. Okay. Shadow of the Beast. I have no idea. I don't think I played this on the ST. We'll have a look at it. Very little sound coming from this, which I'm a bit surprised with. Speak of the devil. Get the camera straight. Yeah. Okay. This apparently comes free with the Amiga 500 pack. I'm not sure if the case did or not, but that's fine. It's an original disc anyway. So, what job done? Oh, another bit. It's obviously a story. I don't want to spoil it for me or anybody else. So let's go back down to the. Excuse me. Oh my god, no. Ah. Oh my goodness. Thanks for watching, I'm terrified. Oh my god, help. End of project, I'm turning it off, just get. Oh, thank god for that. Oh, I'm joking. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do think a £45 Amiga at a car boot sale for me was an absolute bargain. A couple of mods on there to bring it up to better standard. So I think we probably spent maybe £100 on this, maybe less. I think it was £30 for the memory, 45 for the Amiga. That's 75. The chip was another 10. That's 85. No, yeah, 85 quid for a 2.5 meg. I know, 2.5 meg, almost mint Amiga 500. So hope you have enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Please comment below what I need to do extra to this, if I need to do anything. I know I need to do it in external Gotek, because that's what I want. This is why I've left the drive inside and the switch is installed. But any suggestions, please comment below. Talk to me if you want. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but not very often, and Discord. Please have a chat. There's a lot of you guys on there I speak to on Discord, and if you can help the channel, please. I have Patreons, I have a donation link for PayPal. Please help out the channel as much as you can. Keep me going. Anything and everything helps. So with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I need to try and find a new project now. Oh dear. Bye for now.